All right, the next two talks are also VET talks, and the first one is by Eric. And I know Eric not that long, about 2-3 years from now on, but he is everywhere. And I mean, he's not only everywhere on the virtual space, but he's also everywhere in the world. He's a very famous speaker. He's only focusing on social media and veterinary medicine, so he is an expert in his field. And he can tell you anything about social media. So I'm really excited that he took the time to come here. He's really, really busy. He's a really nice guy. So if you have any social media problems, run to him. This is the guy. This is the guy. So, you know, use him while he's here. So, and he's a really nice guy, so he won't turn you away. Eric?
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. First and foremost, how are you enjoying Miami? Yeah? Yeah, I love Miami. I'm a Florida native, so it's nice to have to drive just a couple hours away to attend a meeting and not have to hop on a plane. I am very passionate about social media and what it could do, not only for our practice, but also for our profession. And before I get into some pretty interesting statistics about social media and how you can actually utilize it in your practice as a tool of communication, I want to ask a basic question, and that is, how many of you actually utilize social media on a personal level? So I want you to think Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, watching videos on YouTube, Pinterest, any of the social media channels that you currently utilize. How many of you? Wow, 95%, 24 responses, 4% who said no. I almost want to make you stand up and interrogate you, because I don't believe that. Of those 4%, if you want to identify yourself, have you ever watched a YouTube video? Yeah, okay. So we all, at least at some point or another, utilize social media, 94% of us, and this is very consistent worldwide. I'm very fortunate to be able to speak to veterinary practices all over the world, and no matter where I'm at, whether it's in Istanbul or next month in Bangkok, everyone is interested in how to better utilize social media as a form of communication and marketing in the veterinary practice. No matter where you are in the world, no matter how old you are. Folks in Nepal today, after the devastation with the earthquake, are utilizing Facebook to identify the survivors and to communicate to family members. Nielsen points out that people aged 55 and over are the growing demographic utilizing social media today. A lot of practices usually tell me, Eric, you know, I don't really want to take part of Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest because it's for the kids. Now, we are those kids that they were referring to, most of us are. But yet, these statistics really start to point out that the older demographic are also utilizing social media as a primary means of communication. How many of you is your mom on social media? Yeah, my mom's on social media too. It's almost pretty embarrassing. You know, there's not a moment that I don't post something, and I can guarantee to get a like from my mom and a drive safe, honey, and I love you. I've actually blocked her from my business page because it got a little embarrassing. But that's all right. I know I at least have one fan out there, and I can always count on my mom. When it comes to social media for the veterinary practice, a lot of times practices are so overwhelmed with social media. This image here is a great example of just some of the thousands of social media channels that exist out there today. And so practices usually hear about a new social media channel that's starting to become interesting and it's starting to become a fad. And so they think, oh my gosh, I'm just so far behind the times that there's no way I'm going to be able to catch up. How do I use Twitter? How do I use Pinterest? What's a hashtag? What do I do with this? And everyone starts to freak out. But I always tell practices that when you get started with social media, whether you're a veteran or whether you're just getting started for the first time, I always look to Facebook. Facebook is still by far the #1 social media channel that exists out there today. And I always tell practices, unless you're utilizing Facebook very well as a means of communication and as a means to market to your clients, then you can start to move on to the other social media channels out there that exist today. It's not a race to see how many channels you can be a part of. It's a race to see if you can do it really, really well. So knowing that Facebook is the #1 social media channel that exists out there today, I want to go over Facebook and how you can better utilize it, again, as a tool as a convenience tool for your clients, as a way to educate our clients, but also as a way that we can market to our clients too. And I do believe that social media can be utilized as a marketing tool if we have a strategy behind that. So when we talk about Facebook, I want to go over some changes and some things that you may not be aware of when it comes to Facebook. The first thing that I want to go over is that, yes, it's true, Facebook is really starting to push toward businesses to get to spend money toward Facebook advertising campaigns. And so a lot of practices assume that because they post on Facebook and they don't really get a lot of likes or a lot of people that view their content, that Facebook is doing that just because they want to try to get you to pay money. And actually, that's not entirely true. What Facebook has come out and said is engaging content that is creative, will still rank very highly among people's news feeds. Now, there's also something I want to go over with you about Facebook as well that you may or may not know, is that Facebook, as users, only shows you what Facebook thinks you are interested in, right? So if you're on Facebook and you have, say, 250 friends on Facebook, you don't see everything that shows up from all 250 friends that you follow. And the reason is because Facebook a couple of years ago implemented an algorithm where they are only trying to show you what you're interested in. Now, how can Facebook tell what you're interested in? Facebook can tell what you're interested in based off if you like what the person or business has to say, based on whether you comment on that business or person's posting. Even if you're just a Facebook stalker and don't actually comment on anything, Facebook is determining whose pictures you're checking out the most and which videos you watch the most. Yes, there are Facebook stalkers, right? Yes, I am a Facebook stalker. Mainly because I know that if I engage in one of my buddies' postings, that all of my friends are going to see it, and there are just some things that I don't want everyone to see. But it's okay. So what we really need to do is understand this change when it comes to communicating on Facebook for your practice. The first thing that you want to do, the biggest key strategy that you need to focus on implementing, is a strategy to engage your clients in what you actually have to say. So it's not just you build a Facebook page, they follow you, and they're automatically going to see every single thing that you post. That's not actually how it works. You build a Facebook page, you gain followers, and if you develop interesting and engaging content, then people will continue to see the postings that you're sharing. So the very first thing that we need to do is focus on engagement. And your first impression counts. When you have a Facebook page, the content that you're posting is really important to determine whether your followers will continue to see what you post in the future. So the first impressions do count. So what's the first thing I want you to do when you go back to your practice? I want you to utilize your digital camera. If you don't have a digital camera, they're super inexpensive. I want you to go out and invest in a $30 digital camera. Very, very inexpensive to do so. And I want you to start taking pictures of things that are going on behind the scenes in your practice. Pictures of patients that are coming in. I want you to think of Facebook as a platform for you to be able to tell your story and your patient's story. Right? So I really want you to go purchase a digital camera. Everyone's utilizing the Hills mobile app. Some of you are probably thinking, well, if I'm going to take pictures of patients, do I need to have a release form signed? Yes, ideally you should. Some practices will notate it in the record. On the Hills app, I will send out a photo release form that you could utilize. But I really want you to utilize a digital camera in your practice to start taking pictures of patients that come in and start to tell your story. I want to show you some examples of practices and how they utilize their digital camera to tell their story. We see the picture here of the pet who had really bad teeth. This is a patient who came in, grade 5 dental. The practice went ahead and told the story of this patient from the moment that it checked in to what the teeth looked like before to what they did to those teeth afterwards. A picture speaks 1,000 words. This is communicating to your clients, this is educating to your clients, and this is also marketing to your clients as well. Show me pictures of people in your practice. Your clients are following you on Facebook for 2 reasons. One, they want to find out the latest trends in pet health And 2, they want to find out what's going on with you and your team members and what's going on behind the scenes. So give them what they want. Show them pictures of your team members working hard behind the scenes. Really showcase who you are. Some additional examples. Here's Bloomsburg Veterinary Hospital. They posted, here's the story behind King Solomon's smile. Please visit our website to learn more about how to better care for your pet's pearly whites. And what they did was they actually created an album on Facebook. Here's King Solomon when he checked in, and here's King Solomon throughout his journey into having a dental done in his practice. So this is how this practice was able to utilize their digital camera to engage their clients. This is one of their most successful postings to date because it's exactly what people want. They want to see what's going on behind the scenes in your practice. People love to see photos. More importantly than that, people love to see good stories of pets. Pets who have had issues, who've come out of those issues, and more importantly, when you showcase these type of case studies, you're showcasing your level of medicine. People who are looking to do business with new businesses, studies show, are actually looking to see the type of engagement that your practice has on Facebook. They're looking to see if you're a business who engages with your clients. This is one way to show that you engage with your clients, and again, it's a way to showcase the level of medicine that you're offering. Folks, this is word of mouth. Social media is word of mouth. Chances are, word of mouth are one of your top referral sources today in your practice, and that will continue to remain the same. But what I want you to understand is where this word of mouth is happening is changing. This word of mouth is now taking form of social media. Here's a great example of a practice that I worked with where they shared an image of a pet whom they euthanized to honor the pet. It was a long-term patient that came into this specific practice, and they posted this picture honoring the life of this pet, and you should have seen all of the comments that came in apologizing to the owner, to letting the owner know that they're in their prayers. You should have seen the comments that came in from other pet owners who have previously lost pets and how they've been able to cope with it. You should have seen other owners going out there and sharing links for educational resources and websites that they can go to learn more about how to better cope with a recently euthanized pet. This was a support system, a support group that was being held right on that practice's Facebook page. All they did was they shared this story. Now, this is something that you can do on an ongoing basis if you want. I have practices who really love this idea, where now what they do is they create an album, and it's called Pets Who Pass Over the Rainbow Bridge. And they share pictures of long-term patients and of clients, and they honor them in this album, and the comments continue to come in. This is the type of engagement that shows Facebook that people are interested in what you have to say. Here's an example of a little bit of marketing and a little bit of fun. Los Gatos Dog and Cat Hospital out of California. They posted cool shades. One of our patients was in with his younger brother to get laser treatment on his elbow. The glasses are to protect their eyes from the therapeutic laser. Laser therapy is an exciting treatment option for arthritis and joint pain, inflammation, and wound therapy. So this was interesting. It was cute. People always love to see pets in the laser therapy glasses. It was interesting. People clicked on it. They commented. They asked questions. Again, one of the most successful postings for this practice to date as well. Here's an example of a practice again. Taking pictures of patients that have come in, telling patient stories. They had a little bit of fun. This pet came in. This pet actually ate a couple of Cadbury chocolate eggs. They posted a picture of the dog after you already know what they did. They induced vomiting, and that dog is not happy. But they asked the pet owner if they could take a picture of that pet. They put it on Facebook, and they had a little bit of fun with it. And it says, "Hello, my name is Ernie, and what a day it's been for me." And Ernie's kind of just telling all the other patients and all the other pets, hey, it is not worth it. Do not eat the chocolate. And it was cute. Pet owners loved it. They clicked on it. They commented on it. And again, another successful posting. And what we want to do, and again, the message that is extremely important to take away with sharing this is that we really need to get our clients engaged in what we're actually sharing. Now, I also want you to utilize social media as a platform to tell people who you are. I recommend every single practice create an album, call it Meet the Staff, Meet Our Veterinarians, and post pictures of your veterinarians and tell me a couple of sentences about your veterinarians. The reason that I want you to do this is, again, I pointed out earlier, people are taking the time to research businesses on Facebook to determine whether they want to come into that business. And people who are following you on Facebook are also considered, some of those people are considered prospects. So you actually have people who are following you who are not yet clients of yours, who could potentially be client of yours, right? So what we want to do is we want to let people know who we are. And we're finding that some pet owners are never actually getting to your website to finish their research. A lot of times, they're utilizing what they find on your Facebook page to determine whether they're going to come into your practice or not. So we can't make our Facebook page exactly to mimic it as like our website, but what we can do is we can put as much information out there as to who we are so people can find the information that they're looking for when they're doing research about your practice. So I always recommend practices. Tell your story. Tell people who you are. And this is a great way to do this. Another great tool and tip that I tell practices to do, develop a little album. Give people a walkthrough of your practice to where I can get to see a photo tour of your practice before I actually get into your practice. If I'm a client of yours, I get to see what's going on behind the scenes. And you'll find that when you post pictures that include people in your practice and your veterinarians, that your pet owners are going to comment on those pictures. And they're going to say, that's my veterinarian. I love going to my veterinarian. And so again, what this becomes is word of mouth. So not only now do I get to see a photo tour of your practice, but I also get to see the amazing things that people have to say about you as well. All right. Let's talk about selfies. Believe it or not, scientifically, there's several scientific studies that talk about why selfies are the most popular pieces of shared content today on social media. Selfies are the #1 shared image on Instagram to date. Selfies are extremely popular on Facebook to date as well. One of the reasons people like taking selfies is because this is a very flattering pose. You might look ugly if you take a picture like this, but you are sexy as hell when a picture is taken up here. And I can speak from experience because this is a lot skinnier up here, right? People love selfies. People love to post information on social media and wait and get a reaction from people. People love to text other people and wait to get a reaction back. To the point to where the University of Harvard actually created a study that shows that every time we receive a text message or we go onto Facebook and we see that someone's liked or commented on what we said, that our dopamine levels increase. Not just a little bit. And I quote from Harvard, better than sex levels of dopamine. That is a lot of dopamine. Well, I don't know how much. I can't. Okay. That is a lot of dopamine, all right? So we actually get extremely excited based off the behavior that we're sharing on social media. Now, selfies are actually studies that show because it's the most successful type of posting, that people tend to engage with this posting the most as well. So after reading these studies, I contacted a practice and I said, hey, let's post selfies. Let's see what happens once we post selfies. And sure enough, it was successful right off the bat. You should have seen the comments and the likes that came in and the clicks and the reach that occurred when we shared selfies of the veterinarians working in the practice, when we shared selfies of the employees working in the practice, to the point to where it actually motivated pet owners to share selfies of themselves. Now, how many of you actually take selfies? I want to know. How many of you have ever taken a selfie? Yeah. Yeah. Pretty overwhelming. Probably going to be overwhelmingly yes. Yes, 94% of you have taken a selfie. 90%. Okay. We all take selfies. The 10%, I'm still not convinced you haven't actually taken a selfie and didn't really know it was a selfie. But that's okay. I used to think, who in the world would take selfies? It makes no sense. And then I realized I was that guy. I would take selfies of my pet. And I didn't even know it. I didn't even think, hey, I'm going to take a selfie with my pet. I was just, hey, this is Penny. She's so cute. I'm just going to take a picture. And lo and behold, I was taking selfies without even knowing it. I have the opportunity to work with Elanco Animal Health. Many of you are very familiar with Elanco. And throughout my workings with them, I had the opportunity to work with an organization called Canine Assistance. Now, Canine Assistance is a not-for-profit that will adopt out pets to disabled folks who actually need these guide dogs. And in my workings with them, one of the things that Elanco helped them do was create a video asking pet owners, what does your pet mean to you? And so as a part of this video, the Canine Assistance actually had video that was taken from their recipients asking, what does your pet mean to you? And so this was such a wonderful campaign, and it really got me to start thinking about what my pets mean to me. And so this is Elvis up here. Elvis is just as adorable as ever. You don't even have to say it, I know. Elvis was my first dog. I still have Elvis today, so I'm not speaking past tense here, but Elvis was my first dog as an adult. He really made pet owning super easy. I got him, and it was almost like he was just already trained. He would behave very well. He was very potty trained, just a wonderful, wonderful dog. You know, Elvis is fantastic at modeling. That's what he does best. He will pose for a camera. I will challenge you and your dog any day. To the point to where I thought, well, Elvis needs a buddy, because I travel a lot. I'm fortunate my mom can actually watch my dogs for me while I'm away. So I thought Elvis needed a buddy. And Penny made me rethink dog owning. Her and I did not get along. I did not sleep for the first 72 hours of having Penny. She would just howl in her cage all night long. I was constantly taking her out. She was constantly going in the bathroom in her cage. And so for 3 whole days, I did not get any sleep. Now, I actually also worked in a practice for about 10 years, and I went into the practice going into the 4th night, and the owner could just tell something was wrong. What's wrong, Eric? He could see my raccoon eyes. I said, this dog, I don't want her anymore. She's just ridiculous. She's just evil. I feel like she's the devil. And he said, well, tell me what's happening. I said, she just won't sleep. She cries all night. And he said, where are you putting her? I said, I'm putting her in the bathroom in her crate. He said, put her next to your bed. Fine, I'll try anything. Put the devil next to my bed, and I put my hand down onto the cage, and she slept all night. And it made me think, my gosh, she just wanted me to be there. And so I feel so bad every time I tell this story. I mean, she just wanted me to be there. So this bond that we have, so now Penny and I, we're just super bonded. She sleeps, I love to sleep. We get along really, really well. And so Penny and I, now we're BFFs. And so working with this organization, it had me thinking, you know, what my pets mean to me. And of course, my pets meant the world. And then I started asking some friends and some family members. Oh, this is, by the way, Elvis and Penny. This is Penny's birthday. That is, and I kid you not, ideal balance, okay? Not even a joke here, but that's Penny's birthday present, and she is greedy with her toys, by the way. So it had me thinking, and I started asking my family members and my friends, hey, you know, what do your pets mean to you? And the story that stuck out to me the most, and I'm not surprised, was when I asked my mom, okay, so when I asked my mom what Sassy means to her. So my mom lives on her own. All 3 boys are moved out. We were all living our life. You know, and Sassy's always been by my mom's side. Sassy is 12 years old, and she's just an awesome, awesome dog. And my mom recently went through some medical issues, and Sassy was by her side. Sassy was the only thing that made her extremely happy. So I asked my mom, I said, Mom, what does Sassy mean to you? And she starts crying. What do you mean, what does Sassy mean to me? Why are you asking me this? What's wrong with Sassy? The veterinarian I used to work at also cares for Sassy, so she thought I knew something that was going on. What's going on? I said, Mom, nothing. I just want to know, what Sassy means to you. I'm just asking some family members and friends. And well, Sassy is the best thing that ever happened to me in my whole entire life. She's my world. She's everything. And I said, Mom, I thought this was the best day of your life. I realized where I lied in her life at that point and another. So the reason I share this example with you is because this is a very emotional question. When you ask your family members, your friends, and even your own clients what their pets mean to them. And when you can tap into someone's emotion, you're connecting with them on a different level. And what I want you to do is I want you to ask that same question on your social media networks. Ask your clients what their pets mean to them. But before you actually ask the question, I actually want you to come out and tell a story about what your pet means to you. So share a picture of your pet, share a couple of sentences about what your pet means to you, and then invite your clients to ask this question. I went over this case study and this example at Western States this year, and I had someone who was in the audience who was super anxious to do this. So she actually asked the question right within moments of me even recommending that practices do this. And at the end of the session, because it was about 30 minutes into it, at the end of the session, she told me, Eric, already this is the most successful type of content I posted. You should see all of the comments that pet owners are coming in and sharing. And this is what will happen. Your pet owners will share pictures of their pets and their story about what their pet means to you. And this is not only engagement, this is also utilizing social media as a tool to bond our clients to our practices as well. These are conversations that you will have with your pet owner that you might not be able to have within the 2 to 3 times that you're going to see them throughout that year. You're having a conversation with these pet owners in their environment. She sent me a message 12 hours after she posted this, and she initially shared her example here with me, and she said that her engagement went up 7 times from what it was historically. So now, what we're trying to do with this, again, is we're trying to tap into emotion, we're communicating with our clients, but when they interact with this type of posting, we're engaging them into this type of posting as well. We're engaging them. When we engage them, this means that then they will be able to see the different types of content that we're going to share after this. So that leads me to my next point, and I have 2 minutes left, and I'm notorious for running out of time, and I was already warned that I would get kicked off stage and my mic would be muted. So 2 minutes left. Is social media used as a marketing tool in your practice? Do you ever develop any type of marketing content on your social media channels today? 90% of folks say yes, I love that. That makes me extremely happy. So this tool, what I want to do now is, I have a couple of examples here, but I want to read you one of them and show you how you can easily utilize social media as a marketing tool and develop content that doesn't actually make you look like a marketer to your clients. Because when we're marketing on social media, we have a really fine balance to follow. So there are 3 elements that make up a successful marketing post. The first element is, I want you to find some sort of educational fact or statistic. Or choose an educational topic, find an educational fact or statistic. Once you find that topic, what's your recommendation? How is it that you can help the pet owner with this specific topic that you're talking about? And at the end of the posting, I actually want you to socialize, ask a question, ask your clients how they feel, have some sort of call to action. Right? And I'll share the slide deck with you, and it's also in your proceedings. So I want to read you an example of an effective social media posting where you can actually market a service in a way that doesn't look like you're marketing. So, did you know that 1 in 3 pets will become lost at some point during their lifetime? And 90% of those pets will never make it home? A microchip is much more reliable than a collar and tag because there is no chance that it will fall off. Getting a microchip placed is quick, easy, and can be done at our practice during a 15-minute appointment. Please share this post with your friends and help us reduce the rate of lost and homeless pets in our community. That's an example of how you can market a product to your clients without your clients actually ever knowing. So I'm out of time. This is on fleas, but again, it will be in your proceedings as well. And I'll be around if you want to have some conversations. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.